I remember the old days. Programming used to be so much fun. We'd make little things appear on the screen and dance around and spend hours on this, really, on these simple, fun projects. And I decided I was going to do it again. I set out to build a project that was just pure fun, like the old days, and it worked. So I'm going to step you through what I have so far. If you want to follow along, all of this is in Git. And I also made this document here. Back in my day, it only took 2 button presses to start a new project. But in fact, the first one you didn't even matter what it was. But if you hadn't seen it, this is some one-time setup that will get all your tools in order. All right, so let's get started. First things first, we have this thing which is the current state of my project, but let's go back to the beginning. Initial release. And let me copy that. And I'm going to go to Git here, Git, checkout, paste. And yes, that looks good. Right up here, there's just 2 things, and they're nicely out here where I can see them. This is all aimed at programmers. There's no real GUI. There's this visible part, and there's the JavaScript console. Over here, by the way, is the Vite tool, which, again, it's all described in this manual here, and they have their own help. Really makes these demos very easy because I can show the changes, and they just appear instantly. I didn't have to hit refresh over here. So anyway, how did I start? Well, I created an SVG. Let's take a look here. Page source. I created an SVG, which really shouldn't be that complicated, but maybe that should be part of the template. And the size is 1 by 1 because I didn't want to think about it, just the simplest thing. And I was going to make more complicated stuff. You can add in any shape, but for now I'm sticking with these circles. So anyway, the first one I did by hand just to look and to get some inspiration, and that's how I often do things. It's we're going to make the software do this automatically, but you do it once by hand just so you know what you're doing. Okay, let's display some circles. Nothing especially interesting here, so yeah, let's create some objects. Git, what's that, checkout. There's GUIs for this, but I'd probably lose some cool points if I didn't use the Git. Fortunately, there's no cool points to be lost for spelling. Whoops, and something happened there. And yeah, I guess we can make this a little bigger, but it doesn't matter. There is help here. New circle. Nice enough. Hey, 2 of them. Now there's some things to notice about this. There's 4 real properties. I did not want to get into CSS and all that garbage. Oh, it's so powerful. There's so much you can do with this. But part of the reason that the old days were so much fun, it was easier because you didn't have all these choices. All right. So anyway, we can remove the circle. We can change the center, we can move it, we can set the color, and we can set the size of the circle. And that's basically all it is. And the important thing, the important decision I made, by default, the circle is visible. The center, by default, is a random point. The color is a random thing, and the radius is a random thing. And obviously, you can overwrite those and set them to anything you want. but just part of this fun thing, and it's not just for fun, for anytime you're doing prototypes for real work, it's just nice that you can just say something as small as new circle and not have to worry about a million other things just to make it work the first time. Obviously, I can change that. C dot radius equals C dot radius divided by 2. Good enough. Yeah, I think I've proven my point. So let's look at some real action. This wasn't moving. You could move it by, I guess I could say c.goto. Oh no, I added that later. Deal with that later. So how about inertia and bounce? So this is my version of a physics engine. Not quite, but just something really simple that moves everything around and looks good. So again, watch this screen. It's all automatic. I'm not going to hit refresh. Get, check out. All right. Ooh, and what you know, there's help. Again, this thing has its properties. You can give it an existing circle, or by default, it will just create a new circle. And what kind of properties do we have here? Again, circles are read-only property. The speed, you can change it yourself, or it'll automatically bounce off the walls. And you can pause it. So you can pause it or restart it. Wow, how about that? Masters in Computer Science has proven itself worthy. Okay, well, so far so good. Definitely some nice stuff, but if you've seen my other projects, this has been done before. So sooner or later, you got to make everything 3D. A lot of this started, by the way, when I had to make a config window that let the users pick colors, and what happens if the users picked bad colors. And the 3D stuff kind of helped a lot. Here, let's create another circle. Later versions of this, I can look up all the circles very easily, but spoilers. Oops. You know, it's good that all these tools know how to spell, because I don't. All right. So anyway, c.color equals blue. And again, you can kind of see why I wanted something 3D, or at least something to help. These flat things just were all merging together. Okay, so let's go look at the spheres. Again, a sphere is just a circle with better graphics. So, and I think we can skip the bad colors. If you really want, you can see those yourself. Again, all this is in GitHub, so follow the links in the normal places and you can see this yourself and modify it yourself. All right, get checkout. And again, this thing must be 1040. Huh. Oh no, 11. Can't even read a digital readout here. Okay, yes, this thing just keeps updating, and for some reason it usually shows up there. Some nice stuff to watch here. All right. Ah, spheres. Any new instructions? Nope, same thing. Hey. Whoops. Is that not a thing? You can always use the numbers if you want to make up your own. I guess light red is pink. All right, so again, you can spherify anything. Let's use our old examples. And again, now you have spheres bouncing around instead of circles. By the way, that's not as hard as it looks. There's some tricks that one of the Russians taught me how to do this to make cylinders. I've had to adjust it over the years as the tech has changed and gotten better. This is a single gradient. In fact, we can even see it. Elements. SVG. Well, there's the gradient itself, which, it's not in here. The source code actually points you back to the tool I used to make that. You know, there's anything you want in CSS gradient generator. So yeah, and oh, there it is. That's the one that I used. And again, there were comments that were stripped out, maybe in the no, I probably added the comments later. All right, so then how does this work? Well, we actually have multiple circles here. There's the first one, and the class is simple, and then in the same location, we have one where the class is sphere. For simple, we have the color, which of course we know how to change. And notice how white still looks kind of grayish. It's not on, it still works. Let's try transparent. Ooh, so what happened there? That top circle basically just disappeared, and now we have a sphere that is the same color as the background. Once again, if you if you made bad decisions and you chose the same foreground and background color, the software would automatically work and make it still look good. We can go the other way too. We can look at this one here, and just because it's a sphere, all it did was grab this class and grab this, well, they called it a URL. It's pointing back to this thing here with ID equals sphere. So again, you could probably, if you just took any circle, you could probably put this right on top of it and turn it into a sphere. Whoops. Okay. So what's next? We made it look pretty. A few odds and ends. I think I remember how to do this. Copy. Again, 11 a.m. and 44 seconds over here. All right, so and there's more stuff. You can see it all in the source code and in the git diffs, but let's try circle dot overlapping. And there it is. So circle overlapping will tell you, given a list or a set of circles, which ones are overlapping each other, which is kind of nice because, well, I'm not doing anything with it yet, but you can imagine a lot of fun stuff that kind of depends on the circles interacting with each other. And there's no circles on the screen, so that answer is probably right. Let's see. Yeah, there's I added better examples, but because we went back in time, they're not all here. So let's find them this way. New circle. And, oh, sorry, I'm doing this out of order. So let me just make a few more new circles. It was the inertia and bounce. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. But one more time, let's take a look at what's overlapping, and it'll say nothing. There we go. Now we should have... Now in your code, you're probably going to keep track of which circle is which, but for the sake of these demos, well, anytime I'm at the console, it's nice sometimes just to ask for everything that's there. And sure enough, it found that the red circle and the green circle are overlapping. There we go. All right, so let's make it a little bit more interesting. Let's say new inertia and bounce, and a few of those. And now we're going to get different answers all the time because the game is being played. So, yeah, I like that. Again, not doing anything with them yet, but certainly can. All right, exponential follower. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. The examples get slowly more exciting, so I don't know about you, I'm excited. Let's look at the exponential follower. Starting to have some good examples. Now, you notice it moved slowly towards something. What did it move toward? Well, just because there was no nothing else specified, it moved toward the goal. Goal. And as I said, these are just random things unless unless you override them. Same thing, this half-life. I can make it move much more slowly if I change that. In fact, can I do that? Wow, didn't even think about that. Now let's change the half-life. That's how long it takes to, since it's an exponential decay. So let's try a much different number. 0.9, and that changed the speed. As the half-life goes to infinity, the speed goes to 0. As the half-life gets smaller, then it becomes more of a jump. Of course, we don't want to keep typing these things. That sounds like effort. So let's try this. All right, got one of those, and then did it all out of order. That's okay. Can't really follow directions, but some of my best at, you can discover a lot by mistake. All right, so anyway, I made an inertia and bounce, and I made an exponential follower, and now I'm going to link them. So every time I tell it to move, it's going to move. It's not following completely. It's just jumping to that one point. Well, once again, I kind of proved that I could do something, but oh, I think we can do, here it is, exponential follower follows circle. Now, by the way, the code for this, it always assumed that you were going to do other stuff. It even has callbacks and everything just to help you do this. So this exponential follower was coming and, this follow circle routine. You can follow anything you want. As long as you can produce a bunch of points, the follower will follow those points. So yeah, let's bring it up, copy, get checkout. All right, let's see if we got a better, more help anyway. Not sure about better help. All right. So first we're going to make a bouncing circle like we did before. Then we're going to make another circle, which is a follower. Here, let me copy that. But we're going to tell it to follow the circle. We're not just once going to set the value. We're going to say follow the old circle. And by the way, the circle follower, let's pull that out, and then we can use it for next time. So if we say this again, circle equals new follower, which is supposed to follow, not the first circle, but the second one, that red one. And then, wow. And obviously you can do more. You can change the colors and sizes and the exponent stuff and all that. Let's see, is there anything more? So I knew I'd have to add some mouse stuff sooner or later just so you can configure it without typing so much. And yeah, that's about all. I'll grab the latest version. Has more examples. All right. Get checkout. All right, what have we got here? Oh, the circle overlapping thing that's an old thing. It was added a while back, and I showed you back then. I just updated the documentation. Let's see. All right, followMouse. So let's do this first one first. We're going to create an exponential follower, and anytime I press the mouse down, it's going to try to find me. Okay. Let's create this one. This is just a circle, which is also going to follow the mouse. So mouse down. So in the purple case, we are immediately changing the center of the circle. In the green case, changing the goal so the center of the circle will approach whatever I'm going to. Let's make one more just because I can. So let's say EF equals new exponential follower. Someday I'll learn how to type. And then I'm going to say EF dot, let's make that slower. Half-life equals 1 second. So it should take 1 second to get halfway to the goal. And then 1 second to get the next half and the next half. And then let's try followMouse. like we've been doing, and the follower is this new exponential follower. So, any guesses before I do this? Well, I wasn't here to do a debugging session, so I'll leave this to you as an exercise. Thank you for watching. Feel free to follow along. All the links are in the usual places.